Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Eurotruck Simulator 2, where we previously left off in Plymouth, if I recall correctly. Yes, we were in Plymouth. We just delivered a load of lumber to a farm for some reason. It was a little bit strange, honestly. Let's see what's going for us in Plymouth, then. Let's see. We got shock absorbers going to Reims in France. Yes, over there. Canned beef to Le Havre, apparently. I've been to Le Havre in real life, actually. Plymouth to Portsmouth with an M385A2. I think that might be some sort of military vehicle. That could be... That's almost too good to miss. I mean, we kind of just came from Portsmouth, to be honest with you, but... 20 tons of tyres to Bordeaux. Oh, we could go to the Channel Islands? I never noticed that. Amazon Profi Hopper. I've no idea what an Amazon Profi Hopper is. Apparently it weighs 7 tons and we want to take it to Jersey. By the looks of things. You know what, I'm going to do that, actually. Well, there'll be other tanks and things. It's part of a trailer pack I installed, which looks hilarious. But I want to go to Jersey. I've never been there before in Eurotruck. That's kind of interesting. I didn't even know it was there. I didn't notice it on the map. So, yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Well, we're going to get paid for that. About 5 grand. Yeah, works for me. Let's do it. What are we going to be driving? A Scania. Oh, there's worse. There's worse. We're delivering from Eddie Stobart to something called Landminen or something. I really don't know. I don't have a clue. And you will have noticed, hopefully, that any stutters and things like that will be fixed now because, well, no, the stutters won't necessarily be fixed, but the fact that it occasionally flashes to my desktop when the game freezes up, that will be fixed because I'm now using OBS to record my games as well as my streams. There's a bit of an awkward transition to set up, and it requires me every time I switch between streaming and video recording to change a whole bunch of settings. And if I forget to change one of those settings, it can end in disaster. So we're increasing the risk factor somewhat, unfortunately. But it means that recording is going to become a lot less of a pain in the arse in the future. It will depend on the game, of course. There'll probably still be some games. I can think of a few, possibly Skyrim being one particular example, just because Skyrim is really awkward like that, where I am going to still probably have to use old recording software just to make it work, but yeah. Okay, so the loading stutters are over, hopefully. And here we are in some sort of car park or whatever. Storage yard in Plymouth. And that is what we are transporting. What on earth? Oh, they're lawnmowers, I think. Lawnmowers, okay. Alright, that's a bit different. Oh, hell, look at that. Some military fuel trucks, like old ones. Is that what we could have driven? Maybe. Cool. Alright, anyway. Cool. I don't know what we're going from some sort of vehicle warehouse, I suppose. This must be where we're going to. My first thought was Army Surplus, and then I realised why would Army Surplus have lawnmowers? But yeah, cool. All right, fine. It's a bit different. I like this. That's from one of Jazzycat's trailer packs, I think. And I'm still getting some stuttering. I don't know what to do about that. I think it's just a Eurotruck thing, if I'm honest with you. I'm running Eurotruck in DirectX at the moment. I'm wondering if I ran it in OpenGL, I would fare any better. That could be interesting, I suppose. Maybe I can change some settings here. Graphics. Okay, full screen mode, yeah, because otherwise it goes all funky in non-full screen. Would have made recording easier, though. Resolution, refresh rate, vertical sync. Could that be? I don't know. Hang on a minute. Did my desktop just flash up there? Because if it did, then... Well, I mean, if it flashed up on the recording, that's okay, because it actually flashed up on my screen. That's the main thing. Display settings have been changed. Do you want to keep these settings? I'd love to, but you're frozen up and you won't let me click. That could be it. I'm also using a lot of super sampling, actually, because Eurotruck has a bit of an anti-aliasing problem out of the box. Maybe I could lower that a bit. What else could we do? Reflection detail. I can turn that down. That's the mirrors. That could be causing me issues. Mirror distance, medium. Mirror resolution, medium. And that's for the rest. I think it seems to be fine, honestly. It's a big bloody truck, isn't it? Look at it. Alright, we'll give that a go. Probably won't make any difference, will it? Not a bit. Well, I'm not going to go change all the settings back if it doesn't change, so we'll just deal with it. I think this is just what you get for modding the game with loads of like map mods and stuff, which changes the entire nearby location to a ridiculous degree. Alright, getting some loading stutters. That's normal. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Seriously? Seems to be when I like turn in certain directions, it loves to do that. Just keep looking from side to side. Apologies if it's making you dizzy, by the way. Alright. I think that's a little better. Alright, anyway, so let's get some lights on. Not for much longer though. It's 6:33 AM. And we're going to drive some lawnmowers to Jersey. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, we're going to... Yeah, we are clear of that little trailer on the side there. Alright. Oh god, it's one of these. The tiny archway of doom. Going onto a main road, no less. Okay, well, we'll give it a try. Oh my god. This is going to be interesting. Lovely looking sunrise over there. We'll be driving straight into, actually, now that I think about it. I wonder if it's the traffic mod. You know, I only really noticed this sort of stuttering after I installed that traffic mod. If that's the case, I'll just ditch it, honestly. It's not that important to me. Alright, let's go. Move, bitches, get out the way! Lawnmower's coming through. Alright, we need to be on this side as well. Oh, dear. Yeah, I think it might be the traffic mod, perhaps. Whatever, it's still playable. It's a little awkward, but it's playable. Any Eurotruck geniuses out there can tell me why it's doing that. Please do share your wisdom, because I would like it to not do that, if at all possible, but hey. On the bright side, at least, it's now not. Literally going to my desktop for some reason whenever it flashes up. The one advantage I have when it comes to recording with OBS, I don't know how... Here's the thing, I don't know how it's going to affect like the overall visual quality in the end. That's a chief concern of mine, I have to admit. But one of the advantages I get with OBS is I can look at my other monitor and I can actually see the preview as we're doing this. So I know exactly what the video is going to look like at any given time. That's really nice, because there's nothing worse than recording like an hour of footage and it turning out you've recorded like the wrong monitor or something. Believe me, I've done that before. So it's... I'm speeding like a champion right now. It's proper annoying when that happens, but with OBS that doesn't really become an issue, because as long as I've got my eye every now and again on, in the corner of my eye on my left-hand monitor, the preview window, I kind of know what it's going to look like. So if there's any kind of major discrepancy, like suddenly the screen goes bright red on the video, I will know about it immediately and I can fix it. So, or at least pause the recording and then fix it. So yeah. But we'll see how this works out in the end. The proof of the pudding will be once it's actually fully rendered and uploaded, and just how much bother it was in the end to get it like that, so... God, that's some roadworks apparently. Ugh. Oh yeah, I forgot. Scania doesn't have cruise control. I mean, maybe it does actually, but it never used to whenever I drove this truck. Option the manufacturer neglected to include. Game world's looking lovely though, isn't it? I have to admit. Looks beautiful. Stuttery as hell, but beautiful. Oh my god. Random truck parked on the side there. Oh, I guess those guys are still waking up. Probably stopped there for the night. Oh, I tell you what. I apologise, this is probably going to make lots of noise on the... Oh god, on the... Sorry about that. On the video, on the microphone, but I could probably edit it out, but still. My right ear is getting sore. This microphone setup is not without its drawbacks, I have to say. It's nice having it sort of as a headset, so it doesn't matter where I'm looking or pointing my head. You guys could still hear me properly. The downsides, of course, are it's much closer to my face, so if I breathe too loudly into it, then you get a whole load of me huffing and puffing, which is not so nice. And, oh, speed up now big time. And the other real problem with it is, obviously, because it's all sort of connected up and it's quite sensitive, every time I sort of move the wires and stuff or anything like that, or adjust my headset, you get a whole load of boom, 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 boom on the recording. Sort of bass thumping as I move things around, which is kind of annoying. And the other drawback is, of course, it's kind of uncomfortable. The guy who suggested I get one, fellow Twitch streamer by the name of, and YouTuber actually by the name of Cat's Trader, he does lots of flight sim stuff in X-Plane, if you're curious. He suggested it because he's got one as well, and he basically said to me, like, it is going to be uncomfortable to begin with, but you will get used to it. I hope he's right, because at the moment it's doing my head in, quite literally. So... Well, a police car just went past my house. If you didn't hear that on the recording, we have finally killed the police car menace after all these years. Well, what's nice is we're going to see the... Oh, maybe... Oh, is it the traffic mod? Is it the mild winter mod? I'm going to have to find out. I think it's a mod that's causing my dodgy performance at the moment, to be honest with you. I feel like it's probably a mod, because it was only after I installed a bunch of them that I started getting issues, so I might have to go through one at a time and find out which is the problem. I hope it's not the mild winter mod, because I quite like that. It really transforms the look of the game a little bit to match a lot more closely what's certainly out my window right now. I'd rather keep that. The traffic mod, though, I don't really give much of a shite about. If I'm honest. I could live without that. Alright. Got the road to ourselves at the moment, it seems like. I was in the fast lane again. I got told off in the comments for driving in the fast lane in a truck for a prolonged length of time. Apparently you're not allowed to do that. I'll try and make a mental note and remember. It's been a little while since I recorded the last couple of videos, so unfortunately I forgot. The last two videos you saw were pretty much recorded one after the other last week, so and I took a little break since then, because while I kind of fancied the idea of carrying on and recording a whole bunch, I wasn't sure how willing you guys were to put up with about 5 or 6 Eurotruck vids in about 5 or 6 days. With a distinct lack of other content. I know you guys are liking Eurotruck, but I don't want to push it here. I'm liking it too, but again, I don't want to push it because I don't want to get sort of very quickly burnt out on it either, actually, to be honest with you. We'll just take it slow. So anyway, another video news. New Vegas is coming along very nicely. Chapter 2 has turned to be way longer than I ever expected it to be. Although, having said that, I think maybe Chapter 1 was a little bit shorter than it should have been. Honestly. So, maybe that's got something to do with it, but yeah. I keep running into things I want to do. And then, you know... And then it gets longer and longer and longer. And New Vegas Bounties 1 is taking way longer to complete than I thought it would as well. That's the other thing. I'll let you in on a little secret. I wanted to wrap up New Vegas by completing New Vegas Bounties 1 and completing Russell's sort of quest line, which has a really badass epic conclusion, which is apparently a little bit buggy. I know you guys have let me know about that, and I'm keeping my eye out for problems with that, but it is nevertheless pretty freaking epic, and I'm looking forward to it. But it's just stuff keeps coming up and getting in the way. So, yeah. There's other stuff I want to record at the moment, and to be honest with you, there is loads of stuff I want to record, but the problem is finding the time to do it. There just aren't enough hours in the day. There are so many games I want to share with you guys, but I just can't. I've got to finish other things first before I can start new ones, you know? It's like, look at the birds in the sky frozen in my mirror. Quite funny. Just we got to take these things one at a time, you know. I mean, Eurotruck's effectively an ongoing thing that will just go on for however long we want it to. I mean, you can effectively play Eurotruck basically forever, which is you know, nice. There's no end point with this game, really. There is no point where I'm going to sit back and say, that's the Let's Play finish. We have completed the game, because you don't complete the game. You can just carry on forever and ever, doing the same old stuff. So that's not really an issue. A game that came out very recently, which is I was a Kickstarter backer of, was Torment: Tides of Numenera, which is sort of it's made by the guys who made the original Planescape Torment, which is it's kind of a spiritual successor to. And I played a little bit of it on a stream last Saturday, and I rather enjoyed it actually. I was intrigued. It was because I'd played Pillars of Eternity as well, and that was fun, but I didn't stick at it for very long, honestly, because just something about it didn't quite grab me in the same way that Torment does. The only problem with Torment is you have to be good at reading. I'm very tempted to start doing a video series of it, but I don't know how much reading out loud I would be able to do, because very, very little in the style of all those old RPGs, those top-down ones from Black Isle and whatnot. It's very light on the voice acting and very heavy on the dialogue, so it involves a lot of reading out loud. I mean, we went through sort of the opening tutorial bit kind of thing on stream, and I was doing a lot of reading. I had to go get a drink afterwards. My mouth was that parched afterwards. But having said that, it looks really intriguing. Like, it's... I love an RPG that's set in a really odd, bizarre world, and you can thank Morrowind for that particular preference on my part, but I love an RPG like that, and that's one of the great things about Planescape, was it was set in a, like, what the heck is with this place? This is so weird. I want to learn more. I want to go explore this place. And I get that same feeling in Torment, you know, the new Torment, which is great. But yeah, apparently it's pretty long, and it's a big commitment to make to start playing a game like that, honestly. It really is. Even though I do like it in principle, I don't know whether or not I'd be able to stick with it. Because I do like all those old games, like Baldur's Gate and what do you call it, you know, Torment and stuff like that. But I tell you what, it's rare that I ever manage to finish the damn things. I don't know if there's something about that kind of top-down formula, but I have to admit, I've always preferred first person. It really helps with the whole immersion aspect, and that's a big deal for me, I think, playing any game. If it can't immerse me, I won't stick around. And I think that's why I sunk so much time into Morrowind back in the day, and why I've sunk so much time into games like Stalker, for example. You know, Stalker is sort of... it's barely an RPG, really. It's sort of semi-open world, you shoot people. But I think I've played it so much because it is in first person, and you feel the immersion in that game is just off the scale. You really feel sucked into that world after about 10 minutes of running around in it. And I think the same goes for, say, Fallout New Vegas, for example, and that's probably one of the reasons I prefer it over Fallout 1 and 2, even though maybe Fallout 2, for example, some might argue is a better RPG. I require more from a video game than just, oh, I can make story choices and stuff. That's a big part of it, don't get me wrong, but that's That's not all I need for a game. I think that's why I enjoy Eurotruck, for example, because it's immersive as shit. It really is, actually. Just driving along here, but in this sort of bit of a traffic jamish kind of a situation we got going on here. This is not looking good, by the way. On this sort of wintry morning, down here in the south of England. It looks beautiful. It sounds beautiful. And I'm just sitting here chatting to you as if you were sat here in the cab with me. About this and that and the rest of it, and just having a good old trucker rant, I suppose. And I love that. I really do. It's even better if I'm not recording and I can switch on the radio. It's so nice. Same goes for flight sims and stuff as well. I just love the immersion of them. So yeah, like I said, it kind of applies to just about any game I play, really. If you can't really suck me into the game world and make me forget I'm playing a game in the first place, then I'm not going to be sticking around for very long. That's all it comes down to, really. And I think that's probably why I have spent so much time in all the games made by Bethesda over the years. They to this day, they easily, probably as if you want to look at a series of games that I've sunk the most hours into, it'd probably be those, just because, well, because of the reasons outlined. Yeah, they're not the best RPGs out there, for sure. They are sure as shit not the best first-person combat games out there. Hell no. But, they're some of the most immersive games that have ever been made, I think. And that's probably why I stuck around playing them for hundreds of thousands of hours. Hundreds of thousands? Do you really think it's been that much? It might be, you know. I have been playing them for years. Easily thousands. Even, I think, the original Rome Total War, especially with its mods, you wouldn't think a strategy game could really drag you in like that, but it definitely did. I can't... Again, that's another game that I want to come back to and maybe do another series of at some point. I think I definitely like to revisit it with mods. There's the new Total War games as well, you know, like Warhammer Total War, which is admittedly quite fun. I've done some custom battles in that, and wow! I was way too over-enthusiastic with the brakes there, apparently. I really did not expect the truck to stop like that. I wasn't even maximum pedal right there. It just sort of suddenly stopped out of nowhere. It was really weird. It's not that this dickhead over here just braked for no reason. Oh, I see the problem. We're stuck behind a tractor. Yeah, this coach has got the right idea. Except, he just stopped. Why would you do that, you idiot? Oh, because there's a truck coming in the other direction. Rip. Okay. Just makes sense. Alright, I was like, what is he doing? And then I noticed. Alright. Fucking floor it. Let's go. Goddamn tractors are a menace in real life as well as in Eurotruck, apparently. Bloody hell. I wondered why it was taking us so long. That's better. Off we go. I tell you what, actually. Having said, I think I might get rid of this traffic mod. I don't think I recall that ever happening in vanilla Eurotruck. Getting stuck in a queue like that behind a tractor. But then again, I don't think the tractor's really added by the traffic mod. That's something else completely. Speed cameras. Alright, that's fine. So anyway, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, I think we exhausted that subject anyway, the whole immersion topic. Yeah, you get the point. I'm chewing the cud at this point, aren't I, really? So anyway, how much further until we reach, well, there's Southampton, and presumably we're getting the ferry from Southampton, or somewhere nearby Southampton? Oh yeah, probably be going through Portsmouth, won't we? So we've got a bit of a way to go yet. Oh, the stutters are real. You know what, yeah, I'm sure the traffic mod does add some nice things, but if it's causing these performance issues, then it's probably got to go. It's really not too bad out here in the middle of nowhere, on the motorways and such. But, you know, I can't be putting up with this in the cities. Not on. It's quite irritating. It's distracting as well, you know. Like, if it was simply a slightly lower than normal frame rate, I could deal with that. I really could. I'm not one of those guys who requires 60 FPS to enjoy a game. If we start going below 30, then I have issues, but you know, around 30 to 40-ish, I can live with that, no problem. But it's this inconsistency you get with these micro stutters that bothers me. A consistent lower frame rate than normal would be fine. Inconsistent bullshit stuttering, that bothers me. So we'll see. Maybe I should do some more Googling, see if I can find an alternative solution to the problem. Do we need the lights on anymore, do we really? This is even affecting the speed the game is running at now. You notice how we're sort of skipping forward at like higher speed than normal and then going back to regular speed? Like, it's not good. It's not good. I'll definitely have to see if I can do something about it. The only problem is, I have to take a job in order to get on the roads and out there in the world doing stuff. Because I don't own my own truck, so I can't just go for a drive around and see is the problem fixed. I've got to take a job, which means I need to really be recording it for a video, right? Ugh. We need to get a truck as soon as possible. People have told me not to bother with taking loans because it's not worth it in the long run, but honestly, I really am quite desperate to get my hands on my own truck at this point. For one thing, that's when we really get into the meat of the game, and for another, you know, it's it makes my life as a guy recording a video way easier if I can just get in my own truck and just drive it around for a test every now and again. But anyway, for now we'll just deal with it. Like I said, on the bright side, at the very least, every time I get one of these little freezes here, it's not actually going to the desktop anymore in the recording, which is good. Which is what it was doing before. So that's the bit you never hear about, is it really, when it comes to YouTube Let's Players and stuff like that? You don't realize just how much bullshit we have to put up with when it comes to recording games. Because pretty much every game is different. Every single one. You want to record a brand new game you've not recorded before, you better be prepared for at least 2 to 3 hours of figuring out the best way to go about it, because it doesn't, you don't just turn the game on and then turn your recording software on, press the record button and off you go. It doesn't work like that. There are games run in different engines or, you know, APIs and things. DirectX, OpenGL, whatever. And they all react differently to different kinds of recording softwares and different modes in those recording softwares. So you practically have to configure everything differently depending on the game you're playing. And some are easier than others, for sure. Some are way more difficult than others, though. For example, like Skyrim is a monumental pain in the arse, for example, when it comes to recording. That game just does not like to be recorded. It just gives you all sorts of problems, performance issues, graphical glitches, whatever, if you try and record it in just the wrong way. For ages, you couldn't get a recording software that would record it in 60 FPS, because if you tried to, with certain mods and add-ons, it would literally just all break and you'd be running at like 30 FPS the entire time. And I put up with that, actually, for quite a bit of that Let's Play. I put up with just having to play the game in 30 FPS constantly, because that was just my only option at the time. It was only later on, when people's recording softwares got updated and there were new methods for you to be able to hook into the game and stuff like that. But anyway, long story short, recording stuff is a massive pain in the arse. I mean, streaming too can be a bit of a pain in the dick too, but not as much as recording. Recording is always more tricky. The benefit of having a Twitch audience is they can tell you immediately if something's wrong, which is nice. With YouTube, though, I kind of have to wait until the whole thing's rendered and uploaded, and only then can I be sure whether or not it's worked. Because there are so many hoops you've got to jump through. Not only have you got to get your recording software configured correctly, successfully record the session and not have any issues like, oh, my microphone was muted, or I was recording the wrong monitor, or something like that. You get over that hurdle. Then you've got to get it into the rendering program and hope to God that your rendering software of choice does not crash all the time when dealing with footage from that particular game, because believe me, that can happen. And with that out of the way, once you've done that, you've got to render it and hope that it will render correctly, because sometimes, you know, the software doesn't like a particular bit of footage, and it'll just crash every time you render it. So you've got to switch settings around and things like that, and possibly re-record. And provided you get through that hurdle, you've got to hope that the rendered output of the video actually looks the way it should. Like, nothing's gone bizarre in the rendering process, like the sound is balked out, or I don't know, there's like a graphical glitch on the video or something like that. And if you get through that hurdle, you then got to upload it, and then YouTube's encoding gets its grubby mitts on your video and will quite often cause all kinds of havoc. It can desync the video, it can... yeah, you asshole, try to overtake me. God, he's in trouble now, isn't he? Look. Whoa, swerving off! YouTube only gets its hands on it. At best, it'll just sort of lower the quality of the video a bit. It'll look a bit blurrier or something like that, and that'll be fine. At worst, you'll get... oh, shit. You're in England, Dave. You're in England, you idiot. At worst, you know, you'll have, you know, stuttering problems. You'll have a frame rate issue with it. Audio desync. Audio might just be completely goddamn missing, and assuming all that works, you've always got the chance that... oh, I forget what that building's called down there in, like, Southampton. I recognise that big pointy thing up there. And assuming that's all fine, you gotta run the gamut of content ID. So you better hope that there isn't just some sort of random sound or bit of music in there that the YouTube content ID system thinks is a song that it owns the rights to or something. In which case, if it does, you know, best case scenario, you can still watch the video. You don't get any of the ad revenue from it. Worst case scenario, it gets blocked in just about every country in the world. Which is what happened with, for example, that best of clips video I did for the stream channel. It basically decided, yeah, fuck you, buddy. Portsmouth has been discovered. Fantastic. It basically just decided, screw you, buddy, we're going to block it in just sort of like half of Europe. Because there's one song in there that for some reason we don't want you to even listen to. If we haven't given you permission or whatever. It's me not indicating like a champion. So yeah, that's grand. It didn't used to do that quite so often as well. That's a fairly recent thing. Oh, bloody hell. This is awkward. Let me in. Let me in. Let me in. Let me and my lawnmowers in. Wow, the performance is bad here. Anyway, so... yeah, lately, the YouTube seems to have been outright blocking videos a lot more often than actually just sort of demonetizing them or whatever. Used to be the case you could... I mean, back in the halcyon days of, like, 2010, 2011, you could get away with murder. You really could. You could just put any old music in your videos and nobody would care. I mean, not to mention most of us weren't partnered back then, so we weren't earning money from it anyway, and it was kind of really a non-issue, but nowadays, you can't do anything. You can't do anything. Sometimes even the game soundtrack itself will be, you know, in the content ID system. That happens with Fallout. And I don't just mean, when I say that about Fallout, I don't just mean the copyrighted songs that play on the radio. No, I mean the literal ambient soundtrack that plays in the background when you're wandering around in caves or in towns and things like that. The ambient music in the background, particularly for the Fallout games for some reason, is copyrighted to shit. And so most of, if not nearly all of my Fallout New Vegas series, for example, I don't actually get any, you know, ad revenue from, because virtually every video in that series is demonetized for whatever reason as a result of that. Now, of course, I could just mute the radio slider in the game and mute the music slider in the game as well, and then I just play in total silence all the time. I don't want to do that. Like, the music's an integral part of any game, as is all of the sound and stuff like that, but particularly the music is a big part of any game, and as I've said before, I believe genuinely that Fallout New Vegas has an outstanding soundtrack, so therefore I really don't want to, oh my god. Okay, now the stutters are genuinely interfering with my ability to drive the bloody truck at this point. This is not good. Hopefully the performance will be better on Jersey. Right, how the balls. Do we... Oh, we'd go... Right, okay, we go through here, right. Okay, I was a little confused there. My red line kind of just disappeared. Hello, chaps. As if getting on the ferry was this bloody easy in real life, huh? Yeah, just drive on straight through, come off the road, and in you go. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. Has to be said. Right. So, where do we want to go? St. Helier, basically. As soon as the game allows me to move my mouse. There we go. I think it's Promods, isn't it? It takes forever to load the map now because of that. Embark, £139, 3 hours, 34 minutes. Ships are slow things, aren't they? Bloody hell. That'd be like a 15-minute trip, if that, in a tiny Cessna or something, and that basically is a lawnmower with wings attached at the end of the day, so... Holy crap, yeah, ferries are slow, man. I once took the night ferry from, where was it? I think it might have been Portsmouth, I'm not sure. To somewhere in Brittany, in France. And aside from the fact that we ran into a channel storm, which was, you know, not fun. I spent most of the journey just horribly, horribly seasick. Aside from that, it took probably 5, 6, 7 hours or something. It was ridiculous. Drive on left. Right, yes, because we're still in the United Kingdom, technically. Even though we're closer to France. Well, this is all new to me, then. Interesting stuff. Apparently the internet in Jersey is just outstanding. Like, I wouldn't have thought so. Apparently the internet connections you can get in Jersey are just really good, like super high speed and everything. It's quite impressive, apparently. Man, it's already like 5 o'clock in the evening. We basically missed most of the daylight hours on the trip over. That sucks. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it'd be a lovely place to move to. It genuinely would. I've never been to Jersey myself, but I know people who live there, and I know people who've been there on holiday a lot of times, and apparently Jersey is just awesome. It's a really, really great place. And yeah, apparently they get really good internet there, so it ticks all my boxes that I need. Whenever I think about, do I want to move house to somewhere? My first question is, what is the internet like there? Oh boy. Okay, let's just... Oh god! How did we not crash there? That was ridiculous. I'm sorry, I'm kind of not giving a shit at the moment. I'd like to get this wrapped up so I can do a little bit of tweaking of my mod setup, because this stuttering is starting to drive me completely and utterly bonkers at the moment. I just want to get this done so I can go fiddle with that. So, yeah. Driving like a maniac as a result, I'm afraid. A drunk maniac at that. Oh boy, oh boy. Narrow roads, narrow roads. Oh god, oh god. Just casually dragging the trailer across the pavement. Oh boy. Goodness me, guys, we're nearly there. This felt like a long trip. It kind of wasn't really, but... Oh, motorbike, sweet. It felt like a long trip, but it really was not. There'll be a lot of night driving in the near future if we end up sort of in the evening all the time at the end of these trips. I don't know if we'll drive from Jersey next time, though. I might just sort of go ahead and teleport myself somewhere else. Alright, Dave, remember. Take your corners wide. You've got a trailer back there full of very expensive lawnmowers to worry about. So where is it we're going that needs lawnmowers? My question. Looks like some kind of farm, perhaps. Some very overgrown roads and stuff. Ugh. Trinity, this is called, apparently. Oh, hello. Looks like the place. What's with this? Repair, upgrade, or paint your truck. What are these three lads here just going to paint my truck for me? Yeah, maybe not. Whoa, what is with this tree, boys? Oh my god, big octopus tree sprite of doom. Alright. Where do you want it, Gov? Okay. Now, this looks awkward, but it could actually be really easy. Man, look at all these greenhouses and stuff. God, the scenery here is pretty aside from that wonky tree there, the scenery here is really detailed. I think that's because of the winter mod. I'm thinking maybe the winter mod and some very highly modded scenery is maybe not the best combination ever. Maybe not. Possibly. Alright. Shall I try reversing from inside the cab? Apparently people get really triggered when I go on the external view and reverse like the wrong way, like a blindside reverse. Apparently that really annoys people. If you ask me, I think people are too easily annoyed, but, you know, whatever. Give it a go, and if we royally fluff it up, then I'm going external view. What the heck? Hang on a second. Why are my gear shifters not doing anything? What? Stand by. What's going on? Oh. For some reason, going into the controls menu sends my graphics card absolutely mental. It is spooled up. The fans in it have spooled up to a ridiculous degree right now. It's moments like this where I'm genuinely glad. It's going even higher now. What the fuck's going on? It's moments like this I'm genuinely glad I'm not using my boom mic anymore, because you'd be able to hear that in the background, but I reckon with this microphone you probably don't. Keys and buttons. Yeah, it's already bound. It's right there. It's not working. I genuinely can't reverse the truck. What's the keyboard shortcut for it? Shift and control. We'll try that. Yeah, it doesn't work. Oh my god, that's so weird. Well... I've never had this issue before. Did I break something? Let's just drive around here and see where we can get to. Because we're in trouble if we can't get back around there. I'm surprised we're not parking them up here for some reason, but whatever. They want it over there by that house, apparently. We might have, yeah, we're probably going to have to skip the parking. If I can't reverse, then we're sort of screwed. Must be some sort of bug. Maybe to do with the ferry? I don't know. Yeah, we're just gonna skip parking today. Alright. Okay, excellent rating. We got a load of monies, proficiency bonus. And yeah, I don't know what it is, but for some reason when I get into a menu in the game, my graphics card spools up. When I'm actually in the 3D game itself, it goes back down again. I do not understand the logic of that, but okay, fine. Admittedly, it's under a bit of load right now because I'm recording using the GPU to do the encoding, so it's under a fair old bit of load right now, but still. I don't understand why the menu is causing it to spool up more than the game itself. Seems odd to me, but alright. So anyway, long distance, high value cargo, fragile car, more long distance, please. More long distance. All right, so there you go, folks. There you go. Another episode of Eurotruck Simulator 2 in the bag. Another trip done. More money in the bank. We're up to nearly 20 grand now, which is not too bad. Not too shabby. So yeah. Very nice. Alright, well, folks, I will catch you next time for the next trip we do, which might be out of Jersey. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, have fun, everybody, and keep on trucking! That sounds really cheesy. I really shouldn't end the video like that. Anyway, whatever. See you guys. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.